The truth of the matter is actually Trump hasn't gotten a lot. He's torn some stuff down. There's no law that he's passed that is transformative in this country. He passed a tax cut to give away some more money to rich folks, which Republicans have been doing that for years. But you can't name a piece of legislation that he's done that has actually changed the country.
Responses to Trump's conviction elicited a wide array of emotions, from surprise to outrage, throughout the various political factions. Nonetheless, it was perhaps Barack Obama who delivered the most scathing rebuke, unreservedly voicing his pleasure over the outcome. Obama, together with his team, did not conceal their joy regarding Trump's guilty verdict.
I did hope, for the sake of our country, that Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously. That he might come to feel the weight of the office, but he never did. For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work.
A past consultant for President Obama, David Litt, was astounded by the verdict, recognizing its unexpectedness despite what many had hoped for. He shared his astonishment on Twitter, remarking on the rarity of the jury's decision. "I'm honestly surprised any juror could have caused a hung jury, then capitalized on their notoriety with a right-wing media career, book deals, speaking engagements, or a role in a potential future Trump administration. Practically anything they wanted. But all 12 chose duty to the public over personal benefit." It is notable that Obama is critically targeting Trump with such fervor. This is particularly out of the ordinary given the informal convention that ex-presidents refrain from publicly denouncing their predecessors. Nevertheless, Obama disregarded this tradition during the 2020 election campaign and has since been relentlessly lambasting Trump without holding back.
Tristan treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves. Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. And the consequences of that failure are severe.
It has been said that Obama has not minced words when it comes to Trump, branding him as a madman, a sexist and racist pig, a lunatic, among various other even more derogatory labels. This situation is quite extraordinary, considering the norm where former heads of state typically maintain dignity and steer clear of being embroiled in controversy. However, it appears Obama has reached his limit with Trump and is not shy about broadcasting his sentiments. While Obama's negative opinion of Trump is widely recognized, it's uncommon for such opinions to be voiced so candidly. Nonetheless, this bitterness is not one-sided. Trump's aversion towards Obama is equally pronounced and frequently vocalized. It's important to remember that Trump was a prominent advocate of the racist birther conspiracy, which falsely alleged Obama wasn't eligible to be president. This is only one among many far-fetched conspiracy theories Trump has championed over the years. Evidently, there's a deep-seated animosity between the two, with neither party pulling punches.
Well, the state of Hawaii released my official long-form birth certificate. Hopefully, this puts all doubts to rest.
The conflict between them isn't just comprised of occasional sharp comments, it's been intensifying over time. Barack Obama knows precisely how to strike President Donald Trump in the most sensitive spot, his ego. In a particularly biting speech, Obama laid into Trump, sarcastically undercutting everything from Trump's denouncement of the media's coverage of the coronavirus pandemic to his various other fixations. Obama didn't restrain himself, and it's highly likely that Trump was acutely aware of every word directed at him.
Just happy. No one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing?
With Trump's conviction and his potential incarceration on the line, Obama has apparently adopted a more liberated attitude now that he's engaging with someone who has faced legal defeat. Fully immersed in the political campaign supporting Biden, Obama has placed personal jibes at Trump at the heart of his addresses, clearly savoring each opportunity to needle his successor. His approach, a blend of levity and incisiveness, suggests he's reveling in the moment, as if to convey, "I have nothing on the line, while you, Trump, have lost everything." This showcases a strategic display of how to confront a political adversary with both finesse and wit.
I'll leave it to you to speculate on how this whole race is going to go. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president. And the reason is because I have a lot of faith in the American people. And I think they recognize that being president is a serious job.
The tone of Obama's remarks has shifted from the previously grave and potent insults to something lighter. He often wears a smile as he delivers his critiques of Trump, treating the exchange almost as though it were a competitive sport. Rather than appearing agitated, he adds his pointed comments with a smirk, evidently taking pleasure in the chance to humorously prod at the former president. It's a different strategy, one that transforms political commentary into a form of entertainment reflective of the unique dynamic between the two.
Change to the White House. See what we've got up there.
While Obama plays the role of the laid-back critic, Trump is likely considering his next steps, possibly agitated by the situation. It's easy to envisage that this would be grating for him, someone who thrives on command, finding himself the target of Obama's humorous critique on such a public stage. The reversal of roles, with the former president taking jabs at him, must be particularly irksome for a person who places great value on authority and public perception.
Oh well.
Donald Trump's aversion towards Barack Obama is notably severe, transcending simple political rivalry. Michael Cohen, Trump's erstwhile attorney, who has since become a critic, provides insight into the depth of this disdain. According to Cohen, Trump's fixation on Obama reached such heights that he once engaged an Obama impersonator. This act was purportedly for a video in which Trump could enact a scenario of showing disrespect towards and then dismissing this stand-in for Obama. If true, this anecdote highlights the extraordinary lengths to which Trump's animosity, or perhaps his desire to publicly challenge Obama's legacy, has taken him.
Finally moved to America, I thought it'd be over. Yeah.
It does have all the hallmarks of a narrative you'd expect in a psychological thriller laden with intense personal grudges and symbolic gestures of power. The idea of Trump orchestrating an entire production merely to enact a symbolic firing of Obama speaks to a cinematic trope where the antagonist harbors deep-seated animosity and indulges in elaborate schemes to act out his desires for dominance and retribution. It's a vivid image, one that captures the imagination with its potent mix of drama, power play, and vindication.
Unbelievable rhetoric coming at the top of the Republican ticket. I don't need to repeat it. There are children in the room. He's insecure enough that he pumps himself up by putting...
The actions described go beyond the mere nursing of a grudge. If such behavior were true, it might suggest an unusual level of fixation or preoccupation, which some might interpret as being somewhat unhinged, especially when considering the high-profile nature of the individuals involved. Indeed, Trump's often theatrical and unconventional approach to politics and personal feuds blurs the boundaries between what might be considered strategic public posturing and what could potentially be signs of deeper psychological complexities. It's a frequent subject of public discourse to speculate on the psychological motives behind the actions of political figures, particularly when their actions appear to be outside of the norm. It's worth noting, however, that such analyses should be approached with caution and ideally left to qualified professionals.
The campaign took away his Twitter account. Now, if your closest advisors don't trust you to tweet, then how can we trust him with the nuclear code?
The reports you've mentioned from CNN and the Washington Post, which detail allegations of racist comments by Donald Trump, are indeed serious and troubling. These accounts are particularly concerning as they pertain to someone who held the highest office in the United States, where ideally the president would be expected to uphold principles of equality and non-discrimination. These alleged instances, as reported, point to a pattern of behavior that many find unacceptable and in direct opposition to the values of inclusivity and respect for diversity. It's also worth noting that such reported remarks have consequences beyond the immediate scandal, as they may contribute to a divisive atmosphere and could potentially undermine social cohesion. In a multicultural society, the language and actions of public figures, especially leaders, carry significant weight impacting not just public discourse, but possibly the lived experiences of communities nationwide.
And of course, one of the biggest questions of all, could Donald Trump have beaten Obama in a race? Not a foot race, we know the answer to that question. A campaign race.
These comments by former President Barack Obama underscore a call to the American public to reflect on the values they want to see in their leaders. While he didn't mention names, the implication you've drawn aligns with the sentiments of those who view certain patterns of language and behavior as indicative of deeper divisive and discriminatory attitudes. The reference to leaders who stoke fears, normalize racism, or demonize immigrants and minorities allude to a type of political rhetoric that many believe to be contrary to the ideals of diversity and unity. Given the high-profile nature of the examples you've mentioned, it's understandable why some people connect these general criticisms with specific individuals known for such rhetoric. Obama's reminder to the public about rejecting such language suggests an appeal for a return to more inclusive, respectful dialogue that promotes unity rather than division. This message often resonates with those who value diversity, equality, and the ethos of a unified society where different cultures and backgrounds are celebrated rather than disparaged.
You guys realize what this means, right? It's on! President Obama versus President Trump, the leader versus the tweeter. Yes, we can versus way too can.
It resembles a WWE SmackDown, with Obama continually unleashing verbal attacks on Trump, who is equally known for not holding back his words. Thus, their ongoing exchange has become akin to primetime entertainment.
I have a list, and the list goes on and on. It's 4 pages of things that the Trump administration has accomplished in a short period of time. Each dot is a thing, okay? And some of those things are very big things. Isn't this much more exciting than listening to President Obama say?
What's your take on this intense rivalry? Should Obama be tackling Trump so forcefully, or is it better for him to stay above the fray? And do Trump's critiques of Obama hold water, or are they merely his typical uproar? Share your opinions in the comments. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe for ongoing coverage of this ongoing drama. For a closer look at this clash, click to watch our next episode. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.